Hello, Semanthika. This is Mr. King. I will do my best to try to help you out here with some information regarding the questions that you missed, especially the ones that you requested. Well, here's the one about circumference of the Earth. Okay, circumference of the Earth, the equator. Let me tell you what happened here. You did not produce a formula that helped you find the diameter. What we need to remember is that circumference of the Earth related to the diameter at the equator, not diameter of the equator, but diameter at the equator. Let me just kind of, I have the Earth, and we have this globe, the globe goes like this, okay, around, but it has this diameter, if you can picture it, around the front and the back of this that's the circumference at the equator, and the diameter would be that straight line right through the center of the Earth. Okay, so you have this line here. It's really straightforward that circumference is pi times the diameter, period. If the circumference is this much, 24,901, then it's going to look like this to find your solution, okay? I'll put it right here so you can see a little better. Circumference equals pi times diameter. It also equals 2 pi r, which you wrote on another area, which is great, but you have to remember that 2r equals d. 2 radiuses equals the diameter. So we need to use this formula. If the circumference is 24,901.55, okay, that's the circumference. We know that pi times the diameter is that circumference. What I can do is divide by pi on each side. Anytime you divide by the same one thing by itself, it's going to be 1. So we're going to divide by pi over here, which we know we're going to write the decimal equivalent of 3.14. That's what we're going to use for our purposes. And putting it into the calculator, I'll put it in the calculator, 24,009, clear. 24,901.55 divided by 3.14. You're going to get about 7,930 and a half. So you're going to say approximately, what did I say? 7,930. Okay? That's what you're going to get approximately. Not pi, but the diameter is this. That's what you're going to get. So it's really important that you remember the circumference equals pi times diameter. Okay? Let's go on to the next one. The next one, you said something about the bicycle problem, to the beach and from the beach. I think that, I'm trying to figure out where that one was. Here it is, number 8. Number 8. It says, here, this is something when you look at traveling to somewhere and from somewhere, it always helps to draw a little picture. Okay, I'm going to go to the beach, and then I'm going to go from the beach, which is going to be this direction. We want the same same distance. Do we know what that distance is? Yeah, that whole distance is 3 miles. Now here's what we know. We know that rate times time equals distance. Rate times time equals distance, no matter which direction we're moving. And I think that's maybe where you got confused, is you forgot to use this, equation. Rate times time equals distance. Well, Patty traveled from her home on her bicycle and went 3 miles to the beach. The trip took 12 minutes. So we know that the time it took for going to the beach was 12 minutes. Okay? She returned home at a speed of 12 miles per hour. So in this one, her rate is 12 miles per hour. So in each of these, we're given a 12, but it belongs to a different part of the equation. So let's look at the first part right here, 2, okay? We know the rate is missing, so I'm going to write R. We know the time is 12 minutes, okay? And that means the distance is 3 miles. So I'm going to have 12 plus times r equals 3. So I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. And that equals, wait, that's a small fraction. How can that be? Well, it's true. Just watch. We're going to have 1/4 of a mile per what? 12. Rate times time. The time is the distance. 12, 1/4. 1/4 of a mile per minute. 1/4 of a mile per minute. Wait, don't we want it in miles per hour? We want miles per hour because it says how many minutes less was the trip than, minutes. We're just talking about minutes. Well, this one's 12 minutes, so I don't really need to do anything with that first one. So that's why maybe you got confused. You thought you had to do that one. Well, we know this one's 12 minutes. Well, this one, rate times time equals distance. Rate, which is 12, times the time is the distance. Okay? Well, the distance is 3. I'm going to divide by 12 miles per hour. That's 1/4 of a mile per hour. Is that right? Oh no, we're talking about time. It's 1/4 of a what? 1/4 of an hour. Oh, because the time is measured in hours. Okay. So if I confused you, I'm sorry. But see, even I have to make sure I reason through everything. So we have 12 over 12, time, distance is 3. So t equals 1/4. Time is 1/4. It's 1/4 of an hour. Well, 1/4 of an hour should be 15 minutes. So it says, how much shorter was the trip to the beach than from the beach? Well, from the beach, it's 15 minutes. To the beach was 12 minutes. So it's 3 minutes shorter to the beach. I want to make sure I wrote that correctly, okay? So the long and the short of it is, if you read the question, rate times time equals distance is what we're going to need here. But we need to figure out which parts we're going to need. This was the tricky part when you got 1/4 of an hour. You have to really know what your variables represent. Okay? Now, how about the rope question where we wrap it around 3 times? Okay? Looks like this. Okay? You got 2 points out of 6 points there. 2 out of 6. Okay? So, the garden hose, the 3 equal circles, each with a diameter of 6 shown. Okay, each with a diameter of 6. So if I have those all rolled up to 3, okay, they have a diameter of 6. Eric estimates the hose is between 50 and 60 feet long. Is this estimate reasonable? Well, if I'm talking about circumference, okay, circles, circumference, this should be circumference is pi times diameter. Very straightforward. But here's the thing. The circumference is measured 3 times around in that circle. 3 times around. So I have 3 circumferences equals 3 times pi times diameter. Does that make sense? I'm multiplying each side by 3. So 3 circumferences is 3 times 3.14 times the diameter, which is 6. So you simply multiply those 3 factors together, and you're going to get 56.52, I believe. So 3 times the circumference, 3 times around, is 56.52. So you would say, yes. Is his estimate reasonable? You'd say, yes, his estimate is reasonable. How do you know? You needed to explain, so you'll need to explain here. Of course, I know because 1 circumference is 3.14 times 6. But 3 circumferences is this. So 3 times, if the hose is wrapped 3 times, it's going to be about this long, roughly. Okay, that's the circumference one. Okay. And I think that's what you did for number 9 here. You divided by 6.28 because you didn't use the right formula. You should use pi times diameter equals the circumference. Okay, circle circumference, length of diameter, pi times diameter circumference. You got confused because you used this, and so you multiplied the pi twice to get 6.28. So I think that's what happened, my dear. Okay, let's look at the rest. Okay, with this you're finding the area of the circles. This was a challenging problem. I always have to put one in the test like this. Okay, I also see that, but they're really the same. You know, these circles and that one is the same, but you have to show me how you know. Okay, if here's what I'll tell you for number 13. If you choose a radius, just choose one. Well, I'm going to choose this to be 1. That means the radius of this big circle, because this is 1, that's 1, that's going to be the same here and the same there. The radius of the big circle is 2. So you'll have a radius of a big circle, and you'll have 2 small circles. You need to figure out the area of each of these by using pi times radius squared. See, I didn't see that anywhere in there. Pi times radius squared, and you figure out what this circle is, this circle, which is just twice of that, and then you figure out the big circle, and you'll find that the areas are exactly the same. Okay. Number 11 was circumference is pi times diameter again. Pi times diameter. You didn't do that. I don't know what this is. BRO2. I don't know what that means. Okay, because I see that here. That's because. Please write the words out. I didn't know what that meant. Okay, write out sentences so it makes it easier for me to understand. Okay, kiddo? And here. You wrote so small, it was difficult for me to, but this is a layer. Layers are horizontal, okay? Layers are horizontal. So the layers here are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 18. The layer should be area 18. Volume of 18 for one layer, okay? Here I just took off some points because of the labeling, okay? This one, you just missed that one. Okay, well, I hope that helps you through your test that you're taking. Make sure you ask if there are extra copies there. If not, they should be. I think I have 2 extra copies in the folder that is on my right-hand side of my desk, and it's the makeup test folder that I have there. There are directions on the front. I think that I even highlighted something in pink on top of that folder. Okay, hey, best of luck to you. Bye-bye.